Good morning. Welcome. My name is Chris Lawrence. I'm the town manager for the town of Vinton. We wanted to welcome you today for our special event to formally introduce and announce our 24-hour enhanced fire services with career staff, as well as all the renovations that we completed in partnership with Roanoke County. And we want to introduce that to you, and you can see that a little bit later, and then do our kind of formal ribbon cutting. But it is also my honor to again welcome everybody. This has been a really, I say it's over a year, but it's been a lot longer than that in the discussions. It's been a long time coming. We've had a lot of conversations and a lot of efforts. We've had a lot of cooperation amongst, I think this is, the fire services is the perfect example of how the Valley does work very, very close together. Roanoke County, the town of Vinton, Roanoke City, the city of Salem, all work very closely together. On this project, it is a cooperative town of Vinton, Roanoke County project, and we're very happy to finally get to this point where we can improve and enhance our services to our citizens.
Certainly want to thank all of you for being here today to help us celebrate a very significant day in the life of the town of Vinton and in Roanoke County, East Roanoke County. Chris mentioned earlier that I often say that the sun always shines in Vinton, and I do say that often, but that's because of the people. We have great people here in the town and East Roanoke County, and they certainly deserve this type of enhanced fire services. I want to thank everyone that was involved in this project. I know a lot of hard work went into this project, and I know a lot of folks contributed toward making this day a reality. And if I might take just a minute to recognize and thank our volunteer fire department, who has served this community faithfully for 90 years now, and we certainly expect them to continue that service. So if there are some volunteers, if we could recognize you briefly, I'd love to do that. Chief, you want to stand, please? Any of our other volunteers? They have certainly been faithful to this community and have demonstrated how volunteers and career staff can work together. We're very proud of the modifications and the improvements to this building. It will allow us to accommodate the new firefighters and improve the working environment for our volunteers. It will also extend the life of this building, so it's a great investment for the citizens of Vinton and Roanoke County. And the physical improvements are great, but really, to me, the most significant aspect of today is the start of the enhanced fire services. We will now have 24-hour career firefighters on site here in this building. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, our volunteers will still be here, and they'll be running calls when they are available. This celebration today represents a lot of significant factors. I'd like to point out a few. Of course, we want to thank our partners, Roanoke County. They are always great partners, and we have a great working relationship with Roanoke County. We just appreciate that so much. Our relationship remains strong and very productive. Today demonstrates that public safety in Roanoke County and Vinton, and actually throughout the entire valley, continues to be a top priority. In fact, the recent tax increase had to be enacted to provide funding for the additional, at least 2 of the additional firefighters that will be stationed here. We are also today demonstrating that our career staff and our volunteer folks can and do work together very well. Finally, and a point I think is very important, let's not forget that today demonstrates the cooperation between the jurisdictions. The citizens of Roanoke Valley should be very proud of the mutual cooperation that exists our fire departments and police departments, all of our public service people work well together. I think it's very important that we recognize our mutual aid pacts, and that we understand that all of us are there to do a job, and that is to keep our citizens safe. And all of our departments work well together. Truly, today we need to be reminded that in the Roanoke Valley, public safety knows no boundaries. So I would like to thank Roanoke City for helping us out, for backing us up during that time of transition. And Chief Hoback, I'm just so glad that you're here today, and we appreciate so much the help that you have provided for us during this time. Folks, we are very, very proud of our public safety facilities here in Vinton and East Roanoke County. Proud of the folks that work this job. Sometimes it's a thankless task, but they do a great job, and we are very blessed. It's nothing short of a great blessing to live in a community that puts such a high value on public safety. And I'm just happy and proud to be a citizen that lives in such a community. Thank you very much for your patience. May God bless you all.
Well, I would like to begin by giving a little bit of history on where this all began. As many know, I was elected to the board at the beginning of last year, and it didn't take too long before Chief Birch said, come here, I got to talk to you. So we began a process with the town of meeting, and along with Chief Hoback, realizing there was a deficiency and that it's something that we needed to work on together. And I too want to recognize the city for doing a great job in backing us up for the last few years, as we've had some struggles. Again, this has been a long time in the works. I do want to thank our paid staff who have been patient. I know that they've been looking forward to this for quite some time, but I also want to say to the volunteers that this is a time where you are able to regroup. And I can say that because 20 years ago, on the other side of this wall, actually in another building up the street, we began with paid staff on the rescue side. And many people began to say, you know, what will happen to the volunteers? Well, it was our time to regroup. It was our time to examine how we were providing the services to the town, East County. And I would say today we probably have a stronger group than we did 20 years ago. And I would say the same thing to our volunteer fire department, because I also believe that when you look at the volunteers, or excuse me, when you look at our paid staff, a large majority of those paid positions are filled with volunteers. People who have started in the field, who have a love and a passion for what they're doing and want to make it a career. And I believe that having that opportunity for those folks is very important. So I hope that the volunteers will take this time to recognize that this is an opportunity for you, not only as an organization, but hopefully bringing up those people that one day will wear these uniforms as our career staff, because they do retire, and we do need to fill those positions. But I do want to say to the town, I appreciate your cooperation. To Chief Birch, I mean, this has been a long process, but I'm glad we are here today, that we are cutting the ribbon. The facility that has been renovated, I think, will serve our career staff very well. I think it was something that many of us strive to provide them their own space, so that they, you know, as I've said in one of our meetings, I said this is their home 24 hours at a time. They spend a third of their life here. They need to have a place that they can call home, and I believe we have done that. So with that said, I won't take up as much time as the mayor, but I do want to welcome our paid staff to your facility. I hope you will enjoy it here. Again, thank you for your architectural work, and the contractors. You did a fabulous job. But again, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Again, God bless you. And I'd like to introduce our interim fire chief, Joey Stump.
Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure to be here today because, as has mentioned, this has been a long process, and I'm here at an interim basis, and I kind of inherited the very end of it as we bring it all together. And it wasn't me that put all the work into it, but I know there's a lot of work that has gone into it. Hit back on a couple of the comments that have been brought up. The Vinton Volunteer Fire Department is the longest serving department in Roanoke County, been serving since 1925. And in working with Chief Oakes, I see no reason that this is not going to continue strongly. This is one of our core stations, one of our busier stations, and you can see by the number of pieces of equipment here that we're going to continue to need more than these few new people, the new hires that we're putting on the truck. So that we will continue to rely on that service and as is needed. And again, it's just a pleasure for me to be here today and welcome all of you all here as we start the services coming up.
All right, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. All right. Wait a minute.